Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 4 with another team adventure. This one is all about some B-class cars that have to be two-wheel drive. Now we're racing this in winter. I say one of my go-to B-class cars, kind of. Well, it's kind of, yeah, one of my go-to sort of two-wheel drive B-class cars. I love this Golf. It's a Mark III Golf GTI. Is generally pretty good. Now the rules were the cars had to be two-wheel drive. There can be swaps in here, hence why there's a Scout in this that would normally be all-wheel drive. But yeah, it can be rear-wheel drive converted. I'm hoping the Golf is going to be good. Well, I know the Golf is a pretty solid vehicle in terms of speed. It has got rally tyres. It's got 240 horsepower, which isn't bad for this tyre. It is not bad at all, so it should be fairly good overall. Front-wheel drive is always a strong thing in Horizon, certainly in the lower categories. In the lower classes, front-wheel drive can really, really work well, which is why I've gone for it. We're going to go to the outside of the Clio. Well, I mean, we were trying to not go in the wall, but I couldn't turn any more because we were going to hit the Clio. The Clio was, I think, always going to go in the wall, and we were just unfortunate in being stuck on the outside of it. Yeah, I mean, it's the first lap. You know, this may well be the first time anyone has driven their cars around this circuit, so there is a little bit of a learning experience, learning curve to go on. Are we going to run up the hill here? Are we going to pass the GT86 possibly to the outside? Not quite. A wide body kit, going to have some big tyres on that, I would expect. We may well just outrun it down towards turn 1. The bad news for me is there's just a lot of cars still to overtake. We come from the very back of the field here, so we come from a long way back. Oh, I hit the curb. Oh, and almost put my teammate in the wall. Sorry about that. So there's a curb on the inside. Some cars run over it. Some cars kind of hit it and get dragged by the curb, and we were very much one of those that gets dragged by it. Thankfully, I was just far enough ahead of my teammate that we didn't pull them with us towards the wall. I'm glad about that. We're going to barrel around here. Rainbow's going to be in trouble. Oh, I thought about having a dive. I maybe should have committed more to that. We have got the run up the hill. Here we go. We're up into 6th place now. We're not that far away. We're going to start taking points off blue team cars now. It's the other VR6 Golf for us that is highest placed on red team. If we can chase them down, we have got a seriously quick car here because, well, as I said, we've come from the back of the pack. We've fought our way through and we're already up into 6th, and we are catching, I think, to the leaders. Be nice and tidy through turn 1. We are. Blue team are busy fighting amongst themselves. Is there going to be a gap for a Golf to fit in somewhere around here? Maybe to the outside of the Civic. It's brave. I had to give it a little squeeze because we were going to be squeezed on the exit of that corner if we weren't careful. We're going to swap some paint on the run up the hill here. Unfortunately, it's going to be the wrong side for this next corner. Doesn't matter. We're going to do it. Can we outbrake the Scout? It's a big dive, but we get it stopped. That'll be 4th. Come on, Golf. Can we go chasing after the top 2? I mean, we're going to have to basically get a 1-2 with the Golfs if we want to win this for a red team. That's all the opportunity, all the hope I think we have in terms of points. And I don't know whether we're going to have the speed or the time. We might have the speed to do it, but I don't know if we've got the time. The Scout's taking a look to the inside. We're going to try and discourage that. I think we've got enough. Yeah, we've got enough speed. The Scout is a little quicker off the corner, however, we have got the top end to deal with it. The DS I'm really impressed with is leading the way. I mean, I love the car. I can't really make them work very well on Forza, but I love that it's in the game, even if it's not my go-to race car. We're clear of the Scout. I mean, we did a huge dive. It was a perfectly clean and fair dive on the Scout, but we did come from a long way back to make that pass work on it. But I think it's going to be just too much of a tall order to go after this top 2. Unless, I mean, if they all fight one another, there might be a sneaky opportunity for us. But it's going to have to be a hell of a fight. And blue team, if they're smart about this, will kind of sit there in 1st and 2nd and not do anything dumb. The only thing that might happen is if the Ford starts getting nervous about the Golf, it might try and do something here. We'll see what happens. I mean, if they take each other out, it would be glorious. It'd be disappointing for blue team, it'd be glorious for Team Volkswagen at the moment. if we hadn't started at the back, I mean, the potential for both the Volkswagens, I mean, it looks like they're pretty similarly built. Judging by the pace we've got going on, the Escort is having a look. I mean, that's what we want. Compromise each other through these next couple of corners. Is scary stuff for Blue Team. The Ford's got it. Good pass on the DS. Oh, and they have all tangled. Oh, no. And the Golf ended up outside. They got squeezed out of the checkpoint. Oh, that's unlucky. I don't think the DS was slow. I didn't realise the Volkswagen had committed to the inside. And that is how it goes. It was a brave pass by the Escort. Oh, the points are so close. Yeah, that was some bravery. Personally, I might not have gone for that pass. You kind of want the race win. You do run a big risk, though, because if it goes wrong like it did, it very nearly gave Red Team a victory in that one. That was a hell of a race. That was a hell of a race for us there. Yeah, we came from the back. We just ran out of time. The VR6 is fantastic. It's as fantastic as I remember it being, clawing its way through the field. I will, take a second place. That was very close. I'm looking forward to what the next races might hold. So, we head off-road. Tarn Howell's Scramble shall be the next circuit. Now, most vehicles are probably going to be running rally tyres, while in any other season, shall we say, of Team Adventure, you're more likely to see a bigger spread of tyres. In winter, because we tackle off-road and it's then going to be covered in snow as well, you're more likely to see people focus on the rally tyres. Now, it kind of evens itself out because while everyone's in the same boat, everyone often goes for a similar thing. The Scout might be one to watch out for here. If that has got the off-road race tyres, they may be a smidge better on the kind of snowy dirt, I'm not sure. I mean, yes, it doesn't have the all-wheel drive advantage, of course, but the tyres may be a smidge better. It is bigger and heavier, though. It's not crazy heavy, that, but it is a bit bigger and heavier than perhaps than some of the other vehicles around here. So we'll see how it all works out. We're going to try and pass the DS through this first corner while we're all in ghost mode. We'll get past the DS and the Ford. That would be nice. It'll just be our fellow Golf, maybe, to deal with. I don't know. We'll see how it all pans out. There's a very slidey Regal going on up ahead. Oh, I was going to try cut underneath the Vauxhall. Did not have time to get myself in position to do that. Where are we going to go? I'm going to go all the way to the top. We're going to try and run a high line through here. Can we get... Oh, we can't quite... We would have had a really good run off the corner. Sadly for us, the Scout was in the way. I mean, that's fair enough. It was an ambitious attempt that we were going for there. It almost worked. Not quite. Definitely worth a try, though. We're going to pass the Golf on the run up the hill. The GT86 leads. It's good news for a red team, as we have got a car up at the front. Now, the MR2 has a little bit of an advantage in some regards, in that it is mid-engined. It's a little bit better in terms of traction, with that weight distribution, that weight placement, although they can be a little bit twitchy. And it doesn't have very big tyres, from what I remember, the Mark 1. As much as I love the Mark 1 MR2, yeah, it doesn't have the biggest of tyres. We're probably going to round up on the outside. Through there we will. Now we're sat behind. We're giving the Scout a hurry up through that corner. Ooh, I see a huge twitching going on from the Civic up ahead. We're just going to ride around the outside. I wasn't even not quite. That wasn't really the line I wanted to go, or the pass I wanted to go for. I wanted to try and cut underneath the Scout, but it held me out wide. We're going to go for a big dive. Going to have to stamp on the brakes so I don't club on my teammate. That time around, we can end up blocking in the Scout. So we return the favour on the Scout there. It gives us a push up the hill towards this next corner. We're going to have to give it some space. I don't really want that fight if I can help it. Okay, are we clear? Not really. Scout's going to look to the outside. You're not going to get a pass easily done into this final corner. It's not impossible. That's brave. That's a really not much of a gap. You can miss a checkpoint doing that if you're not careful. Cross the line. We're in third. The leaders are busy having their own fight. We know we're quick in turn one. I think we're quicker than the Scout through here. Certainly seemed it last lap around. Running a little bit too deep. The GT86 is slider. They've got lots of speed through that corner. That is good news for me. Mega speed on the way out. This time around, we're not likely to be compromised coming down here. We can take the line we want to take. Still a little bit wide, actually, from me. Could have got that one better. Oh, no! Our fellow Golf missed a checkpoint. That is going to cost us a heap of points. We're not completely out of it, especially if I could maybe steal a second away here. I'm happy running that high line. We can get some speed on the exit of the hairpin. The DS is coming with us. We are up to the back of the Civic. Can we be sneaky here? Possibly. Are we going to try that? Oh, the Civic doesn't want to give the inside away. Fair enough, it had the overlap. Now we're going to make it take a really tight line into the final corner. Can you maintain the speed doing that? You can. Fair play. It's good bit of defensive driving from the Honda. It's still got the lead. We're sniffing around every which way, looking for a way past. We're going to just chuck it up the inside. Through there. Yeah. Oh, there was a gap. There was a Volkswagen-sized gap. And this is all given the GT86 some space. It's given it a little bit of a breather. It's not under attack. It's not had to be defending or anything for a lap or so. Points looking good for Red Team. That is what we want. We've got a DS coming to join the fun times as well. Nope, we pulled clear of the DS. That was busy fighting with the Civic. Okay, don't do anything stupid. Don't fight your teammate into oblivion if you can help it. We're trying to run that high line. It's, I don't know, it's odd. There's not many corners where I'll like it on Horizon, but that run, you can get such a good amount of speed on the exit. I think we're actually going to get the Toyota before we even get to the final corner. Now, hopefully the Toyota will just realise it's going to get past, fall into line, and follow for the final lap. And let's not do what Blue Team did last time around. Okay, I mean, if you want to have a battle, I'm all for close racing, of course I am. But let's just not screw it up for Red Team as I actually overdrove the first corner. I thought I could get away with that much speed. We're going to fight each other, and bloody the Civic. Oh, they actually got a gap back to the Civic, that's fine. Can we do something clever here? No, not quite. I was trying a different line and it did not work for me. Alright, let's make sure we get it right through here, which we do. Carry a lot of speed. Now, I'm going to guess the GT86 is going to defend. Yes, it does. Can we get the high line working for us? Oh, it's going to slide up in front of us. Might not work still. We're going to get the run towards the penultimate corner, or kind of penultimate corner on the circuit. We are to the inside. We will cover that off nicely. We haven't fought each other into attrition on this one. Some good clean racing didn't cost us the race. We are going to have the run up the hill. That was a wonderful battle for the race victory there. The GT86 did a really good job, I've got to say. Give credit for the rear-wheel drive car there. That did a hell of a job to hold on for as long as it did, but the Volkswagen will take victory, and it is going to be a Red Team victory in points. We didn't get much high scoring, actually. We got first and second, and the next guy was sixth. Didn't all go to plan for Red Team, but we did get enough. I guess the other Golf missing a checkpoint early on did give it, you know, that's some problems. Oh, that was a good race. That was fun. And it was fun, and not only that, we also got the victory. That's always an added bonus. We are heading next to the Greendale Club Circuit. I will be curious to see, actually, what vehicles are fastest down the straight here. Because we've not really seen. I'm trying to figure out what's going to be faster than my Golf. We know the Scout is very quick initial acceleration, but it runs out of speed quite soon. We start on the front row. Now that is good news for me. We know the Escort is quick. We saw that win the first race at Broadway, and that's on the second row. So we're likely to be battling with that. Who launches best as well? I don't know. We get an okay start here. Will we beat the Alpine into turn one? I think we probably will here. The Alpine is very light, not likely to have the same amount of power. Here comes the Escort on the outside. Well, I say the outside. It kind of is, but it's all going to merge, of course, because we're still in Ghost mode as we head into turn one. We come out of Ghost mode. Who has got what levels of grip through the first corner? We're going to lead on the exit. We're definitely going to be, I think, keeping an eye out on that Escort for a lot of this. Ooh, that was not the line I wanted through there, but I think we get away with it. We do. We're just clear enough. Alright. I'm not used to leading away from these roads. It's been a while since we've had a half-decent spot on the grid. And a car capable of making the most of it. I mean, I quite like running front-wheel drive in these adventures, but there's a downside to that. When you're not all two-wheel drive, you often see, you can start on the front row with a front-wheel drive and be back mid-pack. Even if you've got the fastest car over a lap, you just lose so much at the beginning, it's difficult to sometimes regain it. So in this, it's nice to get off the line and keep the position. We have extended the lead throughout this first lap. That is helpful. Indeed. The Escort is in second. The other Golf is back in third, which is good news for Red Team, but we still need some more points. That's turn one, or manners are wonky. Turned in too soon. That's not what we needed to do at all. We've got a big enough lead that I'll get away with that. I mean, you don't want to do that every lap, But once... Ooh, fence. Okay, that's too little. I mean, they're not the worst errors in the world, but it's enough just to make me a little bit, let's say, wary. Got to be careful of that Escort. That's more like it through there. It's just such a nice car to drive. This. It's one of those vehicles that I say I trust completely, and I'm going to do the curse of the commentator on it. But yeah, it's one of those vehicles that when I drive it, I just feel like I know what it's going to do almost every corner. And so even if I make like a little mistake here and there, I don't know, you get confidence from this kind of a car. Points are very close. I mean, at the front, if we could get the other Golf up into second, that would be nice. If we could get that, just give us a little bit more of a safety cushion. Because at the moment, I mean, the battles over 7th and 8th are the ones making the difference in terms of points. So yeah, if we could get that second place sorted, that would be good. Where is the DS in all of this? It's down in 7th at the moment. I've got to stop clipping those bloody walls. It's like the leader is the street sweeper in this. You clear all of the debris out of the way, and cars behind can be a little bit more aggressive, like past the walls, because well, you've already taken them out. So yeah, if we can try and avoid the walls, that would be good. Always be helpful. Okay, it took a couple of goes getting that turned in. It's fine. We have got a Golf for company now. It's a teammate Golf though. Alright, let's not do anything stupid. How are our cars in comparison? Mine, I think ours are very, very similarly built, to be honest. They seem about equal in a straight line. I've not driven this... So I've not driven these laps perfectly. It's been very quick, this car, even though I've driven it a little bit silly. I said it is very easy to drive this car quickly. It is. We've got away with stuff that in lesser cars we would not have done, perhaps. Throw it a little bit wide. Okay, we have to concentrate on these final couple of laps. No more silly errors, really, with it. Let's see if we can carry a lot of speed through this section. We carried a lot of speed through the first part, got a little out of shape through the second. I'm not sure my gears are quite where I want them to be around here, but like we're now looking at really nitpicky things. The other Golf is to the inside. We have got a slight better run onto the straight, and we will pull away. Maybe we've got a tiny bit more straight line speed than the other Golf. Now that may have company from the Civic. Those Civics are also, I know, very good cars. Points are close. Points are definitely close. If they fight one another too hard here, well, if they fight each other hard, that's good for me. That gives me a more straightforward time. We don't want to let the Civic pass both of us. That would be bad for a red team. We would not be winning the adventure if that one happens. A little wide through there as well. Ugh, it's not been my finest piece of driving. God, that's a very sideways Civic. I didn't see the start of that. That was all crossed up and in trouble through there. Right, that's more like it. It's nicer, does it, through that section. Yeah, I'm kind of just in between 3rd and 4th through that bit. I mean, it's not the worst. I've driven a lot worse gearboxed cars, so to speak. Not quite got it perfect through there, but we know the other Golf isn't going to outrun us. In fact, we've pulled a nice little gap. The points got a little bit more of a cushion. It's going to be a Golf 1-2. There you go, sort of your team photo finish almost going on. Bloody hell. Yeah, my driving was a bit scruffy, not the fault of the car on that one, I think. I'm going to go with that anyway. Points, we lost a little bit of ground. We still did enough just to make that one work. Yeah, Golfs 1 and 2, it is 3rd and 4th for the Civic and the Escort. We got 5th with the GT86 in the end. The S ended up 6th, 7th for the Scout. Ugh. That was a bit of a nerve-wracking race, I have to say. Red team lead, though. We are back off-road for our next round. The Mortimer Gardens Scramble. I feel like we should be pretty good here. It's a faster dirt circuit. We know our car's quite good with that. We don't have to worry about the water because, well, it's winter, so that's frozen over, so the Scout's not going to have a big advantage there. Also, I'm on the front row again, which is very, very nice indeed. Hopefully we can... I mean, if we can bolt away at the front, is always nice. I feel like we stand a good chance. Whether we'll get caught later on, we've got the Escort behind us again. Yeah, who knows? We'll find out fairly quickly. what we can and can't do. I would imagine we're going to have a fair bit more handling than the Buick. I'm not going to tempt fate on the snow on the first lap around the around the pillar. Some things are just not worth risking. I do tend to take the alternate line through there. I feel like it's a little bit faster, but it's also riskier. And if you have had a good start, there is no need to do something stupid at that section. We're going to be street sweeper. Bloody hell, that hit the bench, it just fired us to the left. That isn't great. We've got a massive lead at the start of this. Always nice when you can manage to make that one work. We're going to clear all the debris. What is following us? I think it's still the Buick, you know. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to make the most of this. It is not so often that you get this opportunity. It's always nice when... Well, I say it's always nice when you love being in the middle of the packs. You love, you know... The close racing, the close battling all the way through the field is always good fun, but you're never likely to win a race from those kind of groups. It's difficult to, unless the whole pack is fighting. I mean, if you started on the back row, and I've started on the front row and done this, even if you've got the fastest car in the lobby, you'd have to be so much quicker than me a lap just to close the distance I've made. Even with me driving like a little bit of a plank. You've just lost so much time. I mean, I can't actually see the car in second place. Thank you, kitten. You've knocked a controller off the bloody side. You utter arsehole. Stractocat had to make an appearance at some point along the way. What did you knock? Oh yeah, he knocked. I have a like a stand to charge my Xbox controllers that stood on top of a cabinet, and the kitten was up there. And he's normally really good at not knocking that off, but that was what the crash was. If you heard it. If you were wearing headphones, you probably did. That was quite a loud crash. Right, I want to fly into turn one. Oh, a little too much speed. Again, we've got such a big lead, I can do this. Just kind of experiment and see what... The points... Actually, look, considering I'm the only red team car in the top 4, we are not doing too badly on points in this. There's obviously a couple of blue team cars just not quite working as well. Right lamppost. Yeah, the Golf is quite good around here. Bucketed off in this one. As I said, it's nice to do occasionally. Oh, I'm going to take out all the street furniture. Bloody hell. It's the DS that's trying to chase us down, followed by the Ford. You just see the DS in the background. But yeah, like if that DS is... It'd have to be so much quicker a lap than me to make that ground up. And it's unlikely. We've seemed pretty evenly matched in the previous races where we've been close to the DS. So, unless I do something immeasurably stupid, which this is me we're talking about, I'm not going to rule it out. However, let's not play. No, there's no need to risk that. If I was trying to overtake a car, sure, you can get different lines. As I said at the start, you know, there are times where I'm going to risk that. There are times when I'm simply not going to, and this is one of those where there is no need. I always say it's a shame that we can't see fastest laps in these adventures. I really hope that Horizon 5 I hope the adventures are back. I don't actually know. But yeah, I'd like to be able to see fastest lap on these. I really like this style of racing. It's why we've done it for so long now, because it is really good fun. But being able to see fastest lap would be nice. There is the DS in the background. I mean, the DS is a long way clear of third as well. How many cars can we trap as DNFing? That's now become a new little mini objective for me. I mean, our record for fewest cars finishing a race is 2. That was not on Horizon 4, that was on Motorsport 4 when we were racing like pickup trucks and SUVs at Maple Valley and everything fell over and broke. That was many years ago. Well done if you remember that. But I think we're going to see more than 2 finishes. I don't think we can get a 30-second gap over third in a 5-lap break. And that was a much longer race as well. I don't think we can get that bigger a gap in a 2-lap race, in a 5-lap race on here, because it's only about a 5-minute race. We are going to head onto the last straight for the final time. I think the DS is a fairly similar sort of speed to me, but it's just lost so much ground early on fighting and so on that it's never going to close that gap. If there's only half a second lap of difference between us, it's not going to do much. We will cross the line. A fairly straightforward drive for me in that one. The DS gets second. It's like third is going to go to the Escort. Our other Golf made it up to fourth. That's good for us. Yeah, points. We managed to get them secured. 5, 6 cars across the finish line. Yeah, we just couldn't build up that gap. I think we built up a really big gap early on, and then the rest of the field weren't actually that much slower. We just made the most of the opportunity we had at the front. Yeah, okay, most of the field's going to finish. I mean, it looked big. You just didn't really see anyone in that race. But that is the way that it goes. Everybody does make the finish, at least. Yeah, that is the way it does go sometimes with these. I shall take that. I think that means red team have won overall as well. So, for our final race, we head to the Edinburgh Station Circuit. I'm expecting, again, to be fairly quick here. The Golf has worked. We are in mid-ish of the grid. We're ahead of our team's other Golf. We're ahead of the DS and the Escort. So, yeah, we stand a good chance. The Scout, we know, is going to launch pretty well. We expect Scout might lead early on. We'll have to see. The Buick created a bit of a roadblock, I think, behind me in that previous race. So if we can get past it quickly, and I mean, it's probably the biggest car here. I think it's bigger than the Scout, to be honest. So yeah, if we can get past that quickly, that would be helpful. We shall have to wait and see. We know the Civic's pretty fast, although we've got a much better launch than the Honda, and we are up into 4th already. Now, can we take the cheesy line? We can. The Buick took out the railing for us, and that will do nicely. Thank you very much indeed. We've got a wonderful run down here. The Clio is not going to be able to defend that one. Okay, so we're again make the most of a good start. We were slightly ahead of perhaps our main rivals, and we have got that clean getaway. The Clio is going to fight back on the inside through there. Not quite what I wanted. We want to focus on the Scout. But the Renault is going to be a threat. We know the Clio's are good cars. Again, it could be another front-wheel drive, rally-tired vehicle, I would expect. Here comes the DS. So we haven't got as big a gap over the DS as we did last time out. A blue team cannot win the adventure. It is 3-1 to us. They can go for a more respectable score. The DS has not found a way past the Clio. Okay, that was maybe a little too much on the brakes through there. I'm kind of more focused on setting up the exit of that section rather than about the entrance to the chicane. Is the Scout going to do the cheesy line? Nope, I will take it. It's always a risk doing that line. You lose time if you hit the railings, you lose a lot of time if you hit the wall. And the Scout is a much bigger vehicle than the Golf, so there is a risk for the Scout. Ooh, we got a lot of understeer mid-corner as we went over that crest. Almost carted to the outside railing, but not quite. We will try and be neat and tidy through there. I could have been faster. We are on the tail of the Scout, but where do you fire it up the inside? Not here. I think it's going to be the final corner. Maybe the Scout will even out on the acceleration. It's going to start running out though when we get towards 100 miles an hour. We've just got to outbrake it down here. We're going to hold it wide as we head into the final corner. Park it on the apex. Don't give the Scout an opportunity to do a cutback, and we will take the lead of the race away. But we didn't have crazy big advantage over it here. We'll be neat and tidy through there. Will the Scout follow me across the inside? That is the question. I feel like if we start doing this, the Scout has to follow, and it does. The Scout realises it has to follow that line. The thing is I've got to be careful of is the Scout isn't slow, and if I leave it half a chance, it is going to dive bomb somewhere. So we have to move across to cover, which we did, but that in turn makes me slow doing the cover there. A little wide on the way in, but I think we've got it. We do. Okay, we are now not in range of the Scout. I think these couple of corners may be where we make up our lap time on that truck. Getting nicely onto the back straight. Yeah, we've just pulled that gap. The DS has got itself to 3rd. Points are looking good for us again, actually. I don't know. It's weird. I feel like we don't really score that many podium, but we're good with the sort of 6th, 7th, 8th, all of those positions we can score, and we've normally got one of our Golfs running towards the front. So yeah, we'll head through that first chicane, and we have pulled. Yeah, we've pulled the gap to the Scout. I mean, we're not going to get away with missing a checkpoint, but you know, if we hit a railing somewhere or brush a wall, it's not going to be the end of us. The Scout is trying desperately. Yeah, it's a good showing for the Scout. This is serious handling track around here, and that is doing a good job indeed. Our Clio is battling away for that. Well, actually, we have kind of got a little bit more than 4th, 5th, 6th area on this one. But yeah, the Clio is in that big battle. Our other Golf is in that big battle. Looks like it's all sorts of chaos back there. I mean, you can see on the map. should probably look where I'm going, not looking at a map, but there's a huge gaggle of cars fighting back there. I wonder if the Scout is going to fall foul to the DS before the end of the race here. I do not know. It'll be maybe a bit close. Maybe not. Maybe I thought the DS was a bit closer. Yeah, funnily enough, the Golf proves, yet again actually, this is a wonderful, wonderful B-Class car. Probably shouldn't speak too soon, we've still got a lap to go. Don't really need to run that risk through that. If you hit the much like on that line, if I hit the fence on the exit, kind of the end fence, you don't lose too much time. So if you hit the fence on the way in, don't hit that fence sucks. That really will ruin your day and all of your momentum up here. That's a little bit of a wide line on the way into here, if I'm honest. Ooh, okay, there is definitely a line through there. I just didn't quite get it right. We're all over the place, and it is nicely does it into these final few corners. Yeah, we've pulled clear. The DS is actually right there now, ready for the fight over second place. The Golf is wonderful. It really is. We had a good. The Scout put up a good fight. It did everything it could. We could just carry a bit too much speed. It was as simple. It was as simple as that. The Volkswagen will claim another victory for the Mark III. It is going to be second to the Scout. The Scout and the DS did good, definitely. Fourth goes to the GT86 ahead of our other Golf. Then it is the Escort followed by Clio, followed by MR2. It was a big manic battle went on back there. Whew. But Red Team are going to take the victory in this one. Going to take the victory in this round, and overall, yeah, I really like that car. It's just such a good car. I let it down a little bit. We got a victory at Greendale, but I did let it down a little bit myself. I feel like I could have driven that one a lot better. But yeah, when given some other opportunities, that thing absolutely flew. Well, there we go. Red Team take victory, and that is going to be it for this team adventure. If you would like to sign up to take part in the next one, you can via our Discord. There'll be a link in the description. Find the Versus the Community sign-up section, and you can register to take part in there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.